Hi, thank you for joining me again. I'm going to resume where I left off last video, Book of Job. This time I'm going to be starting at chapter 24. Job complains of violence on the earth. Since times are not forbidden from the Almighty, why do those who know Him see not His days? Some remove landmarks, they seize flocks violently, and feed on them. They drive away the donkey of the fatherless. They take the widow's ox as a pledge. They push the needy off the road, as all the poor of the land are forced to hide. Indeed, like wild donkeys in the desert, they go out to their work searching for food. The wilderness yields food for them and their children. They gather in the fodder in the field and glean in the vineyard of the wicked. And they spend the night naked without clothing and have no covering in the cold. They are wet with the showers of the mountains and huddle around the rock for want of shelter. Some snatch the fatherless from the breast and take a pledge from the poor. They cause the poor to go naked without clothing, and they take away the sheaves from the hungry. They press out oil within their walls, and tread wine presses, yet suffer thirst. And the dying groan in the city, and the souls of the wounded cry out, yet God does not charge them with wrong. There are those who rebel against the light, those who do not know its ways, nor abide in the paths. The murderer rises with delight, he kills the poor and needy, and in the night he is like a thief. And in the eye of the adulterer wait for the twilight, saying, no eye will see me. And he disguises his face. In the dark they break into houses, which they mark for themselves in the daytime. They do not know the light. For in the morning the same to them as the shadow of death. If someone recognizes them, they are the terrors of the shadow of death. They should be swift on the face of waters. Their portion should be cursed in the earth, so that no one would turn into the ways of their vineyard. As drought and heat consume the snow waters, so the graves consume those who have sinned. The womb should forget him, and the worm should feed sweetly on him. He should be remembered no more, and wickedness should be broken like a tree. For he preys on the barren who do not bear, and does no good for the widow. But God draws the mighty away with his power, and rises up, but no man is sure of life. He gives them security, and they rely on it. Yet his eyes are on their ways. They are exalted for a little while. They are gone. They are brought low. They are taken out of the way like all others. They dry out the heads of grain. Now, if it is not so, who will prove me a liar and make my speech worth nothing? Chapter 25. Bildad, how can man be righteous? Then Bildad the Shallute answered and said, dominion and fear belong to him. He makes peace in his high places. Is there any number to his armies? Upon whom does his light not rise? How then can man be righteous before God? Or how can he be pure who he is born of a woman? Is even the moon does not shine, and the stars are not pure in his light? How much less man, who is a maggot, and the son of a man, who is a worm? Chapter 26. Job, man's virility and God's majesty. But Job answered and said, How have you helped him, who is without power? How have you saved the arm that has no strength? Have you how have you counseled one who has no wisdom? And how have you declared sound advice to many? To whom have you uttered words, and to whose spirit came from you? The dead tremble, those under the waters, those inhabiting them. Sheol is naked before him, and destruction has no covering. He stretches out the north over empty space. He hangs over the earth on nothing. He binds up the waters and thick clouds, yet the clouds are not broken under it. He covers the face of his throne. He spreads his cloud over it. He drew a circular horizon on the face of the waters. At the boundary of light and darkness, the pillars of heaven tremble and are astonished at his rebuke. He stirs up the sea with his power, and by his understanding he breaks up the storm. By his spirit he adorned the heavens. His hand pierced the fleeing serpent. Indeed, these are mere edges of his ways, and how a small whisper we can hear of him. But the thunder of his power, who can understand? Now move on to chapter 7. Job maintains his integrity. Moreover, Job continued to discourse and said, As God lives, who has taken away my justice, and the Almighty who has made my soul bitter, as long as my breath is in me, and the breath of God in my nostrils, my lips will not speak wickedness, nor my tongue utter deceit. Far be it from me that I should say you are right. Till I die, I will not put away my integrity from me. My righteousness I hold fast, and I will not let it go. My heart shall not reproach me as long as I live. May my enemy be like the wicked, and he who rises up against me like the unrighteous. For what is the hope of the hypocrite, though he may gain much? If God takes away his life, will God hear his cry? When trouble comes upon him, will he delight himself in the Almighty? When he always call on God? Surely all you have seen it. Why then do you behave with complete nonsense? This is a portion of wicked man with God, and the heritage of oppressors received from the Almighty. If his children are multiplied, it is for the sword. If his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread, those who survive him shall be buried in death, and their widows shall not weep. Oh, he heaps up silver like dust, and piles up clothing like clay. He may pile it up, but the just will wear off, and the innocent will divide the silver. He builds his house like a moth, like a booth with a watchman makes. The rich man will lie down, but not be gathered up. He opened his eyes, and he is no more. Terrors overtake him like a flood. A tempest steals him away in the night. The east wind carries him away, and he is gone. It sweeps him out of his place. It hurls him against and does not spare. He flees desperately from his power. Men shall clap their hands at him and shall hiss him out of his place. Chapter 28. Job discouraged on wisdom. Surely there is a mine for silver, and a place where gold is refined. Iron is taken from the earth, and copper is smelted from ore. Man puts an end to darkness, and searches every recess for ore in the darkness and shadow of death. He breaks open a shaft from people in places forgotten by feet. They hang far away from men. They swing to and fro. As far as the earth, it comes from bread, but beneath it is turned up by fire. The stones are the source of sapphires, and it contains gold dust. That path no bird knows, nor has the falcon's eye seen it. The proud lions have not trodden it, nor has the fierce lion passed over it. He puts his hand on the flint. He overturns the mountain at the roots. He cuts out channels in the rocks, and his eye sees every precious thing. He dams up the streams from trickling. What is hidden he brings forth to light. But where can wisdom be found, and where is the place of understanding? Man does not know its value, nor is it found in the land of living. The deep says, it's not in me, and the sea says, it's not with me. It cannot be purchased for gold, nor can silver be weighed for its price. It cannot be valued in the gold of Ophir, and precious onyx or sapphire. Neither gold nor crystal can equal it, nor can it be exchanged for jewelry or fine gold. No mention shall be made of coral or quartz, for the price of wisdom is above rubies. The topaz of Ethiopia cannot equal it, nor can it be valued in pure gold. From where then did wisdom come, and where is the place of understanding? It is hidden from the eyes of all living, and concealed from the birds of air. Destruction and death say, we have all heard a report about it with our ears. God understands its ways, and he knows its place. For he looks to the ends of the earth, and sees under the whole heavens, to establish a weight for the wind, and to apportion the waters by measure. When he made a law for the rain, and a path for the thunderbolt, then he saw wisdom and declared it. He prepared it. Indeed, he searched it out. And to man he said, behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom, and to depart from evil is understanding. Chapter 29. Job's summary defense. Job further continued his discourse and said, oh, that I were in months past, as in the days when God watched over me, when his lamp shone upon my head, and when by his headlight I walked through darkness, just as I was in the days of my prime, when the friendly counsel of God was over my tent, when the Almighty was yet with me, when my children were around me, when my steps were bathed with cream, and the rock poured out rivers of oil for me, when I went out to the gate by the city, when I took my seat in the open square, the young men saw me and hid, and the aged rose and stood. The princes refrained from talking, and put their hand on their mouth. The voice of nobles was hushed, and their tongues stuck to the roof of their mouths. When the ear heard, then it blessed me, and when the eye saw, then it approved me, because I delivered the poor who cried out, the fatherless, the one who had no helper. The blessing of the perishing man come upon me, and I caused the widow's heart to sing for joy. I put on righteousness, and it clothed me. My justice was like a robe and a turban. I was eyes to the blind, and I was feet to the lame, and I was father to the poor. And I searched out the case that I did not know. I broke the fangs of the wicked. I plucked the victim from his teeth. Then I said, I shall die in my nest, and multiply my days as the sand. My root is spread out to the waters, and the dew lies all night on my branch. My glory is fresh within me, and my bow is renewed in my hand. Men listened to me and waited, and kept silence for my counsel. After my words they did not speak again. On my speech settled on them as dew. They waited for me as the rain, and they opened their mouth wide as for spring rain. If I mocked at them, they did not believe it, and the light of my countenance did not cast down. I chose the way for them, and set as chief. So I dwelt as a king in the army, as one who comfort mourners. Okay, I'm going to end right there. At the end of chapter 29, next video will begin at chapter 30. Thank you.